He's got a new book out. He's launched his own TV channel on mainline television in England. Truth is Rising. David Icke of davidicke.com joins us. Always thought-provoking. So much of what he said 20 years ago that I certainly laughed at, unfortunately turned out to be true. He exposed people to BBC that he said were having necrophilic sex with children they'd murdered and everything else. And it all came out a decade after he named names. I mean, it is unbelievable. And I just bite my tongue hoping that, the rest of it doesn't turn out to be true. I'm just pinching myself. But David Icke joins us, one of the most controversial guests you can have on. And we're always honored to have him. I've had a chance to hang out with him over the years, get to know him. Just a really real guy. People ask, is David Icke for real? Yes, he's for real. Is he right about everything? I don't think any of us are right about everything because we see through rose-colored glasses, the distortion of our senses in the time-space continuum. But so much is happening. The Great Awakening is happening that he said 20 years ago he thought would begin around 2014 through 2016, 2017. So, David, give us the big picture of where you think we are, what you think the top stories are right now, and what you think is coming, and then we'll cover the waterfront with a whole bunch of news. David, thanks for coming on with us.
No problem, mate. Hey, it's been a while, hasn't it? Bilderberg, wasn't it? In Watford the last time we met. And first of all, congratulations. It's a big 4-0, eh?
That's right. I'm 40 today. It's strange you're on my birthday, David. Thanks for coming on.
There you go. Well, I'm 62, so you're a whippersnapper, mate. Long time ago yet. I think we are reaching the point now. We've reached the point where so many strands of this are coming together, and if you connect the dots between the strands, it's challenging us to open our minds to things that we would have dismissed by reflex action not so long ago. I've been saying for 2 decades that the rabbit hole is so deep that if we're only looking at things like banking scams and engineered wars and engineered terrorist attacks, etc., which is very, very important to expose, but we're still walking around the edge of the rabbit hole. This is so deep. And we have to, I would suggest, open our minds to the fact that there are forces at work in the unseen, which Christians call demons, which Islamic believers call jinn, which other people call archons, other people call flyers in Central America, the shaman. There is an unseen force manipulating this. And the idea is to put humans into such a low state of consciousness and awareness that the manipulating force becomes the one-eyed man in the land of the blind.
So they basically want us to be robots. David, I love seeing your huge newsroom back there, but unfortunately your omnidirectional mic is picking up everything they're saying. I want to hear what you have to say. Can somebody shut that door?
I'll do that.
Thanks a lot, brother. All right, good. I do like the shot, though, but it seemed when we went on air, the noise volume went up. So yeah. It looks like you got a anthill of liberty lovers in there running around getting stuff done. Please continue, David. So they want to turn us into robots, basically. Yeah,
and go ahead. They want to put us in a smaller perception, a bubble than the manipulating forces in. Like I say, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. And in terms of things going on now, fundamental to pushing that further on is transhumanism. The idea is to sell us the belief that we can be enhanced by technological additions to the body. And this, Alex, we've talked about this over the years. This is bringing to light what I've said about the human body all these years, that it's a biological computer. And because it's a biological computer, it can be connected and can interact with other forms of computer software, i.e. technological computers. You see, what you've got, there was a story this week in Britain about the invention of an artificial hand, which for the first time gave the person the ability to feel things to feel texture, to feel the softness of something that had never been done before. They could move it and pick things up before, but they could never feel things. And it's a real simple process in theme. There are electrical signals passing around the brain, and there are electrical signals that pass around the technology.
It's electrochemical, and the brain has no firewall.
Basically, what they're doing is making those two forms of energetic information talk to each other. And so the hand talks to the brain that way, and therefore the brain can decode the feeling of texture and touch. So what we're looking at then with transhumanism is putting in various technological bits of kit and stuff and connected it to the human body, the biological computer. And it's being sold, like I say, as a great step forward to beyond human, amazing things that humans can do. That's the sell. Because whenever you are selling something, whatever it is, the mobile phone technology connected to the smart meter technology, connected to the smart television technology, whenever you are selling something that's real bad for the target population, you have to sell it as a benefit. Otherwise, people are going, we're not having that. You've got to sell.
Oh, Virgin Atlantic has Google glasses. Oh, my refrigerator talks to my smart meter. Oh, it's all so wonderful.
This is the thing. And so what the real agenda is not enhancing human beings. They don't want greater potential for human beings. They want to suppress human beings. It's to create a situation where the technology is talking to the brain and telling the brain what to think and what.
And they sell it as enhancement. It's not that the technology itself would be bad. It's that the people running it, deploying it, rolling it out have made it a Trojan horse openly to dehumanize us.
Yeah, that's why, my new book's called The Perception Deception.
And David Icke joins us. He was getting to the key point there. And he's been talking about this 20 years, folks, saying they wanted to hack the brain, create a false neural system, take over. Now, people say, well, he says it's entities in another dimension doing this. That sounds crazy. What does every culture say? Regardless of whether those entities are real or not, or that's some archetypal manifestation through people. I've been to Bohemian Grove. I've covered Skull and Bones. I know elitist. I grew up in the richest county in Texas where all the rich people were basically devil worshippers. We had to leave the town because of it. Okay? I mean, it was unbelievable. The stuff they tried to induct me into. I've seen stuff by the time I was 14 that most people never even imagined. And I could see it was all part of my life, part of a journey to know this stuff's real. The police stealing drugs, you name it. This is a short segment, long segment coming up. I'm ranting, David. It's just that regardless, the elites do believe they're getting power from these entities. Go ahead.
Well, they are. I mean, they're sick. And in terms of wisdom, they are without wisdom, because cleverness and wisdom are not the same thing. Cleverness is a very much lower level of ability, of intelligence. But they're not in that cleverness area. They're not stupid in that sense. So they're not going to be all these centuries and right to the present day. They're not going to be worshipping something that is not there. But the whole point of which pulls all the strands together is the perception deception, because that is the crucial foundation. If you've got a target population of billions and you are, compared with that, a tiny cabal, and the core of it hidden in the shadows, then you can't control that population physically in total. You can start to get there the more that you bring the population under mental control through drugs and various other means, like the transhumanist technology will come to. But we're not quite there yet. We're not there yet. So they still have a situation where they have to control a target population. And the only way you can do it is by manipulating their perception of self, of the world, of world events, of authority, so that perception will suit your agenda for global control. And from perception comes what? Behavior and response, or in this world we live in, lack of response to what is going on. So you look at the education system, Alex, from this perspective, and it's a crucial part of the perception deception, because, you know, you've got children increasingly from the earliest ages. I mean, you come out of the womb, Alex, and within what, 3 years now, suddenly you're in a school, which are nothing more than prisons now, and you're having an authority figure telling you what's right, what's wrong, what's possible and impossible, what you can do, what you can't do, when you can go, when you can't go. And more power is being given to school authorities and taken away from parents. And that's a massive perception deception element, because you then have control at least 5 days a week of that child and young person and students' information that they receive, basically. And what you're doing through a rigged curriculum with rigged versions of everything is that you are programming them to see themselves and the world and authority in the way that suits you.
Introducing Pro One. All of your filtration in one system, portable, on the go. No more do you have 2 or 3 filters to just reduce sodium fluoride. You have a system that cuts out the sodium fluoride and up to 95% of hydrofluorosilicic acid. Advanced manufacturing technology combines silver-impregnated white ceramic with new Aquamedics advanced media for removal of fluoride and other heavy metals, all in one filter element. It is the only one that does it, and out of the gates, we have it discounted at 10% off with promo code WATER. This is the only system that in one unit helps reduce or remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, ammonia, and chlorine, hydrofluorosilicic acid, the most common form of fluoride not covered by other fluoride filter brands, and sodium hexafluorosilicate. Get your Pro Pure with the new Pro One filter today at InfoWarsStore.com or by calling 888-253-3139.
Now you can watch The Alex Jones Show live as it happens at InfoWars.com/show.
You'll find links to all of our content there and a free 15-day trial for Prison Planet TV.
More than 60 movies and documentaries all in one place at InfoWars.com/show.